Welcome again to another video. Here we are in the middle of Halifax, which is not a town I've been to before, but it's a land where the mills are huge. It shows British prosperity in the time of when Britain was prosperous, and there's some huge mills here. Again, I've not seen it before, but as we know, they used to build mills on the banks of a river so that they could dispose their waste into the river, but also get power from the river to power some of the early machinery. So this is quite an amazing place, actually. Massive old buildings that seem to last forever. But here we've got an interesting ram. Paul McCartney did an album called Ram, and I don't think it was about this one, but he's an interesting fellow. Look at him with his horns. He's brilliant. Let's go and have a look at him. These massive stairs, stairway to heaven. And an art studio. It's such an interesting place. Such a massive. I think if you lived here, you would look at that door up there. But here's our friend, the ram. Look at him. This is his back. We can see there he's got an appendage that is quite incredible. Look at that. He's a proud ram. He'd make a bull proud, wouldn't he? Look at that. The ram. He's brilliant, isn't he? So yeah, what an amazing place. Now of course these places don't create anything anymore. They're just one's a nursery, as we can see here, one's a hotel, and they're just like places of past grandeur that are now, they're turned into kind of service industry places. So I don't know if we'd call it gentrification or not, but looks brilliant. Look at that. Look at that clock. An old fire station there. And they've done it really well, for whatever reason. I don't know if people get employed anymore in manufacture in this country. I think it's all gone to, since Thatcher's day, I think it's all gone to like China and India. Because in a capitalist economy, you go to where the workers are the cheapest, because one of your main expenses as a capitalist is the wages that you pay to workers. So if you can outsource the work somewhere else, you can then keep the prices low, so you can make your product competitive. That does no good for the actual workforce. It just means that people end up being unemployed, and yeah, we know. I'm just so bowled away by the size of these places. Covia Insurance, I don't even know that one. I've not heard of that. Must be big. Got a big building. So the Britain now works in financial services rather than manufacture. Rather than making anything, we sell financial products. That's certainly the big thing in Manchester and London, and it looks like to be the big thing in Halifax as well. An extraordinary place, large, big, and look at this tree covered hill. So yeah, I've not been to Halifax before. It's quite an incredible place. Here we've got like a massive bird, a massive silver bird, some art installation. So whilst India and China prosper and have done for the last 20-30 years, a country like Britain, which was prosperous 200 years ago, or America, which was prosperous 100 years ago, America and Britain are now in the decline of capitalism, and they become a service industry to the world. And the older countries, the so-called legacy countries, go into a kind of slow terminal decline. But at least their artwork is good, and the reappropriation of factories is brilliant. Look at that massive thing over there. So this is Halifax, Northern England, Yorkshire. I can just imagine though at the time when things were made here, and how prosperous it all would have been, how glorious. Probably not for the workers, because in those times when these were cotton mills, the workers would have been paid next to nothing, and well, nothing's changed really, has it? Because instead of being strapped to a cotton mill and being paid next to nothing, people are now on call centres, which is the modern day equivalent to being in a cotton mill. So for capitalism to work, you need a cheap supply of labour, which is then exploited. And look at all these artworks, yeah, which is exploited, and then the capitalists take the excess value from the top of the workforce and make a profit, so that the ones at the top make the money. And that would have been the same in the cotton industry as it is these days. So nothing's changed in that front, except that the work type has changed from Britain and America to China and India. And this will then go towards the BRICS nations. We see now the emergence as we decouple. Some countries are going to decouple from the dollar because they've had so much trouble with America. So you've got countries, the BRICS countries, which is Brazil, Russia, India, China and South Africa, are going to decouple soon from the dollar, instead of making the dollar the world currency. And that'll change things around a lot. So we'll see now those countries soaring really high, and well, we'll see what the rest of us leaves behind. And these factories will still be around when that all happens. Might be reappropriated into workshops, who knows. See you all soon.